team. Having data is so important. Math solves all. So here is my 2013 team. They're playing Arizona Western Community College. And what I was able to do, so we're going to look at, here's Sakai Iohara. By the way, he is in the Bundesliga right now. And he's actually doing really well, scoring a lot of goals. But let's look at what we're recording. So he had 20 forward passes, and we gave those forward passes a ×2 on the total score. So we got 40. And then back passes, he had only 4 in the game, and we gave that ×1 because we don't create a negative pass as valuable as a forward pass, which is more positive towards the goal we're trying to score in. And then if he gave the ball away backwards, that would be ×2. And if he gave the ball away going forward and made a pass going forward and it was intercepted, that was only ×1. So we were letting them know that it was not positive to pass the ball backwards and have it intercepted. You don't want that. That's a big problem. And we gave a total score. So he had 33 total passes, and he ended up with a total score of 105. So in his 105 score, we allowed other data to come in, like hustle. So if you read on in this data, hopefully he had 15 hustle plays, and what we consider a hustle play, and we gave it ×3, is when you actually double team, and it was like a 10-yard sprint to double team. So you applied pressure. You got around the ball, and it was a 10-yard sprint. So we created value. So we gave opportunity for the ones that weren't able to have success passing and receiving. They could focus on the other side, which is defending. So we wanted to give everyone an opportunity to have good scores. And then you can see dive-ins. We had I put a ×7 on diving in because that was a big deal to us. If you dove in, I'd rather group defend, no diving. So if you dive in, meaning you're in 1v1 situation, you dive in and try to win the ball versus delay, wait for help, especially with those hustle points I created, it allowed team defending. And I was able to change the tactics of the game through math. Anyways, so he was in first place for a lot of categories, but he got 105 points in total score. The 115 above isn't Alexis. I wonder who that is because I sorted and it kind of took names all over the place. Doesn't matter. So he got 105, and I was able to rank them. So you can see some players like got -5, but their minutes were diminished. He got -5 because I remember this game. He got red carded to a double yellow. So he was in and out real quick. So he's denied opportunity, but he had -5. And then we had some players at 0 and 8. And this is a fair opportunity to say, hey, this is your score. This is something you can really look over. I even broke it up. So this is just possession. So our top possession went to Sakai Aohara and Ryo Sugahara, 2 Japanese kids. We played with 2 10s basically, and they tied in possession. So I was able to break it down by possession, hustle only stats. So here's our hustle stats. Move me out of the way. So here's our hustle stats where it was broken down, and Sakai was in first with 97. And then Sway Henriquez, who played at Old Dominion, he an amazing player. Jesus Zazueta, Gatorade Player of the Year from Colorado. He was actually a dreamer, so at the time it was very difficult to move dreamers on to the next level, but the kid was a Division I player. And just below that is Tafada Swasuweo, who ended up being at starting for GCU Division I. These are talented kids, but they have numbers to look at. I don't know if that makes sense, but numbers solve all. So if you really want to help educate the parents and the players, you got to show data. So if they keep dribbling and losing it, you have to show them, hey, congrats, you megged a kid and kept the ball. That was amazing. But you dribbled the ball and lost it eight other times. That's not amazing. So let's fix that. Let's see if you can dribble and beat someone and then find a pass. If you do that, that's worth 10 points. You can manipulate that way. There's no perfect solution, but you know your team. You can use math and show them, and you'll be shocked when parents actually do it. And I'd have the parents keep the stats, make it simplistic for them, and then add to it. Don't throw them a bunch of stats. Hey, you got to keep track of it. They're not going to be able to do it. But if you simplify, I've done it in so many different ways where I just gave them a piece of paper printed in the soccer diagram, and I would just have them dot where every time they had the ball, where on the field, and then an arrow where it went, and if it was positive or negative. And just look at it, and then they would give it to me, and then I would log it. That's important. It's not I'm not a big fan of putting all the everything on a camera, an expensive camera that can record the stats, and you put markers on them so they can track everything they do. And break down the plays. I want the parents doing it. Now, if you have the video and the parents don't want to do it during the game and they want to do it, they need to be involved. They need to see it. They need to pay attention. I had a parent, when I had them do it, who yelled at me at State Cup for not playing their daughter in a game where we beat the number one team in the state, who hasn't lost to anyone in Arizona in over 2 years, and we beat them up in Tucson 2-0. Yell at me. Now, I'm not about benching kids, but I made the rules very, very clear. I'm going to play everyone equally until State Cup. Give everyone opportunity. And in State Cup, they limit your subs at the time. And you only had 3. So they're like, oh, we got to be like national team or whatever, or FIFA. So they did that. They thought that was developing kids. It's so stupid. Anyways, they limited your subs, and we won. And I got yelled at. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I just took a team who majority of these girls got cut from other clubs, come to me because I'm the problem solver for kids that are denied opportunity, and I play in a certain way that, we can beat anybody because it's all about keeping the ball, and getting yelled at like that. And then that same summer, we're playing in a women's league. They're U17. We're playing in a women's league. And I was having to keep stats. And he came and apologized because he had no idea his daughter lost the ball as much as she did. They don't recognize it. They only want to see the good. Make them keep stats. That will solve problems. Teach through numbers. Develop through numbers. Have them try different things. And make it a math. Reward them for getting points. I would change the category's values based on what I saw. If we're not working hard, if we're not doing enough sprints, getting back and defending, I would create a value for that to be very important. And in college, I could put it on the wall. Here's our hustle stat winners. Here's all the data, and they would all go there after a game, and it took me a long time to do it, freaking long time. Because I had to watch the film and I'd stop it because there's a lot of passing going on. And then I would compare both sides of the stats, and they would just stare at the board and they want to be on top. And I even had to break it down. The midfield was here, the defenders were here, the goalkeepers here, and forwards are there. So because they're all competing against those positions. It's kind of not fair to have, your left and right back competing with your center mids. I mean, center mids are going to get the ball a lot. Left and right back passes are typically always going forward, so they're always doubling. And so, depending on who you're playing and how the pressure is, they're not doing too well because they're clearing balls which don't have a value at the time. You can create values for it. So I don't know if that made sense. I think math is the key to change anything with a team and to change an individual. So I think that's what you need to do. Hopefully that answered your question, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode because I'm moving on in life. And I'm getting out of here. And, I got work. I got real work because this isn't work. This is lose money kind of thing because this costs money. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.